Here we will see attributes in Python. In object-oriented programming language, every object has its internal characteristic data called fields, attributes or properties. In Python, these object-bound characteristics data are generally known as attributes. While an attribute is often inherent, the attribute is represented for further data processing. In data processing, data are often represented by a combination of items, that is, objects organized in rows and multiple variables, that is, organized in columns. Python provides two scopes for attributes. One is class attribute and second is instance attribute. First we will see class attributes. Attributes that are defined outside the method in the Python class object are known as class attributes. These attributes can be accessed by class and instance object. Class attributes are unique to each class. Each instance of the class will have this attribute. It is sometimes used to specify a default value that all objects should have after they have been instantiated. General syntax for defining class attribute is class, class name and then class attributes. For example, here class my class is defined and class attribute variable is defined in which we have stored I am a class attribute, and when we print my class dot class attribute, it will give I am a class attribute. Next we will see use of class attributes. It is used to define the default values. Class attributes provide a way to define default values for objects. With this, developer can create objects with preset values, reducing the need for manual initialization and minimizing the risk of errors. Class attributes allow developers to share information among different objects, which is useful in cases where a single instance of an object needs to be shared across different parts of a code base. Class attributes can be used to create singletons, which are objects that are instantiated only once and shared among different parts of the code. This is particularly useful in situations where a single instance of an object needs to be shared across different parts of the code base. Class attributes are a powerful tool in object-oriented programming which improves the organization and efficiency of the code. They allow developers to create code that is more readable, understandable, and maintainable, as they provide a way to define common characteristics among objects in a clear and concise manner. And Python provides a way to define class methods that can be used to change class attributes without affecting all instances of a class, which is a useful technique to avoid unintended consequences when modifying class attributes. Next is instance attributes. Attributes that are defined inside init method are known as instance attribute. These attributes can be accessed by an instance of the class. They belong to the instance of object. Instance attributes are unique to each object. This init method is called initializer. It is automatically called when an instance of the class is created. Its job is to make sure that the class has any attributes it needs. It is sometimes also used to make sure that the object is in a valid state when it is instantiated. General syntax for defining instance attribute is class, class name, and a init method and the instance attributes. For example, class, my class, then init method is defined, and inside the init method we have defined the variable self.instance attribute in which we have stored the value as I am instance attribute. Then we will create object of the class and we can print the instance attribute with its object, that is my object dot instance attribute. It will give the output I am an instance attribute.